Oh, and of course, yeah, Andor finished this week, which surprisingly good series. I must admit. And it's the thing is it's kind of like a story that doesn't need to be Star Wars. If you've watched Rogue One, that was a war story based in the Star Wars universe, as opposed to a Star Wars story with Jedi and Stormtroopers and all the things. Now, I think one of the things I saw someone else commented on as well was Andor is a Star Wars story that shows that really the Jedi in the time of the rebellion is, they're like rare. Most people will live their lives and never ever see a Jedi. And you don't have one Jedi Knight coming in and just fighting 500 stormtroopers for you. The rebellion was a bunch of normal people fighting an oppressive empire, and they didn't have superheroes. They had heroes, obviously. But it was very much what a man can do, not what a superhero can do. And Jedi are kind of the superheroes of the Star Wars universe. Okay, how are we doing with the... he's working his way up there. Might have a problem with the pole. Didn't notice that was in there. But it looks like he's made his way past the pole, which unfortunately a lot of equipment tends to get caught up on the pole. Windrowers, balers, mowers and the like. Cultivators. Should I push that on? Yes, that would be a good plan. Okay. Yeah, this is not going as well as the last field, I would say. I'm just going to get this done quickly, even if I don't get points for style. What is the time? 10:41. I haven't heard from Mrs. Osa yet. There were concerns that teenage Osa was going to turn up to the women's banquet at church and make a scene. I'm going to need to fill this up again. I've already filled this up once today. Oh, I stabbed it the wrong way. Shuffle over a little bit. That's better. Now I can snuggle it up against the existing Bales stacked on this side, and it's not going to be a problem. Too much of a problem. Okay. Oh, that's actually quite close to where I want it. Now it's too far across where I want it. But, oh well. Like I said, not going for style points, going for let's get this stuff done. End of April 4, we will be looking at May 1. We'll be able to get out there with the fertilizer sprayer and the weeder and get all of the sorghum fields cleaned up. That will be good, I think. Because then it'll be what, May, it's April 4. I do need to make sure we get the sprayer out on this field today. Although, what is it? It's 12:47. I think we'll have most of these done. Blink and extract. Good. Okay, let's jump there. Okay. Find me a bale. I want a bale. Take the one at the bottom. What? Yeah. Well, grab that one. I'll put this one on this side. We'll put the one next to the green tractor on this side too. And we'll try and get 3 on the other side. No, back. That's good. I think we'll approach from the bottom. Okay. Stab. Oh, that wasn't great. We only got it with 1 prong. 3 on the other side. We do have, looks like at least 3 more. Well, it is what it is. But maybe I will. I'll leave it as is. We'll drive the last 3 through the hedge or something with the spiky bits. All right. Come on. A little bit more. Gotcha. No! That was not what I wanted. Okay. We'll find another one. Okay, 2 there, 2 there, and 1 just thrown out. Hold up. Didn't I put some bales on the other side? Seriously. Yes. Now I have misbehaving bales. Got another one fall off. Oh, that's fun, isn't it? You know what? Let's just... Really? Not good. Let's push this over here like this and help it go. Worker hasn't had too much of a problem. He does have problems with obstacles in the middle of the field. We may have to come back and do that bit there. We'll see. Not worried about that right now. Going to want to do that. And we'll take all of these off. We'll come back for the rest of them. And the last 6, 7, we'll just dump them on the back of the trailer as best they hang, I guess. See if I can fit down here. Hope the tree doesn't get in the way. Well, actually, that was amazingly without issue. That bale is rolling. That's not a good thing. Okay. Try this here. That, and again I'm just going to drive through the hedge because driving through the hedge is good. So maybe we have, I don't know, 42,000, 43,000 once this is all done. That might be okay, I guess. Okay. I'm not going to bother flipping these onto their edge. They can go on the end. And workable relic. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing fine, thank you. What is going on with your Saturday? Let's see if we can get this in position. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate so as not to make a complete mess of this job. There we go. That's good. As I said, we got 3 there, 2 on the other side. Not sure how that's going to work out, but we'll figure it out as we go. And I will be so glad when all these bales are sold. Oh well. Yeah, I do the working thing, but my working thing is weekdays, so I get to relax on Saturday mornings, usually while everybody else in the house is sleeping, but everybody else in the house went out this morning, so to a women's event, so I'm not a woman, so I don't get to go to those. Okay, shuffle that to there, good, and plop this one on the back. Oh, soup, soup, soup. There we go. So I'll put one there. That is not there. Extract that. Wow. This amazingly is somewhat working out. Okay, we'll stab that one and stab. All right, well, 2 to go. 2 more after this one. I am from the UK, but I haven't lived there in 25 years, 26 years. But I think I am old enough that I'm not going to lose the accent. But I now live in Michigan, so not so much, especially not with what is happening over there. I left because government decided that they didn't like people working for themselves, and really that situation has continued since I left, and that's really not good. So I like fair taxation, I don't like unfair taxation, and when the government says, hey, if you work for yourself you owe us 60% of everything you make, not profit, just everything you make. And if you are a corporate worker, you only have to give us 40%. So, yeah, give us 20% more than people who work for somebody else pay in taxes. It's like, yeah, no, that's not fair. I'll pay my fair share, but I'm not gonna be robbed by the government, so I quit. They said, hey, you need to pay us 60% of what you generate, not what you earn. So an earn is, you know, if you work for yourself, you've got costs. You know, I was driving around England. I was doing 12,000 miles a year working in an office. So that's a lot of miles for someone who spends predominant time sitting in an office. So, you know, you've got all of that, fuel costs, hotel costs. I didn't want to stay in a hotel because, hey, I get to stay in a hotel. I had to stay in a hotel because I was working for a client who lived 300 miles away from my home. And the stupid thing is, yeah, the government basically said, oh no, that's just a perk of doing what you're doing. It's not fun staying in a hotel every day of the week away from your family because your job demands it. And ordinarily, if I worked for somebody else and that was required of me, then usually what ends up happening is your employer will pay your hotel bill because they want to send you 500 miles away. But yeah, I couldn't afford it. If I had kept working, my take-home pay, my corporate income was somewhere in the region of £80,000 a year. My take-home pay would have been £5,000 after I'd factored in travel, staying in hotels, and being away from a family. You know, all of the things. It would have been like, yeah, I take home £5,000. That's not even minimum salary if I worked for somebody else. So destroyed the industry, but they didn't see that as a problem. Oops. And so I just said, not happening, I'm quitting the country. And you're not going to get any more taxes from me. And they haven't. But that was an option for me since I was married to an American. I worked with a lot of people from other British Commonwealth countries. Indians, Australians, New Zealanders, Pakistanis. They all quit the country. They left. They didn't pay their last tax bill. And then there was, most of my other colleagues who were native to England either went to Europe because Europe wasn't penalising consultants, or they went full-time. Tax is a consideration. And like I said, when you're taxed, approximately, if you're in England, if you're paying the lowest rate of tax, you're also paying Social Security or national insurance, whatever they want to call it. Once you hit the national insurance cap, your tax goes up. So effectively, you pay 40% tax no matter what you earn. It's just that half of it's called something different when you're earning a little amount of money and paying national insurance. But when the government basically says we want 50% more than we get from everybody else, that becomes an issue. As I said, up until that point, the government was taxing me fairly, and I was perfectly happy to pay all the taxes I earned. I sent them somewhere in the region of £10,000 a quarter. So £40,000 a year went to the government. But when they started saying, now we want 60, it's like, no, because my work hasn't changed. What I'm doing hasn't changed. The government just wants 60% of my income all of a sudden. And I don't think it's fair for the government to get paid more than I do for an hour's work. That's unfair, no matter how you slice it. And so, I left. I'm not playing that game. And since I came to America, my salary doubled anyway, because, hey, they respect, educated workers more than Britain does. I pay more in taxes. I don't care. I don't care about paying taxes. What I care about is paying more taxes than everybody else is paying, and then that becomes an issue for me. So that's why taxation was an issue, and it was the primary issue of me leaving the country, because I'm just not doing that. Consumables, that one, and that's liquid fertilizer. That's liquid fertilizer. Let's buy 2 of those. Yeah, we've got more than enough money for that. But then you've got all of the... Okay, you take care. But continuing that conversation. Britain has become more restrictive. I mean, it is now, from what I gather, if I lived in England and said what I said just now, I could expect a call from the police because I'm criticising the UK government, and that's a problem. Borderline illegal, and yeah, not a fan of that either. America, you have the freedom to say whatever you want, and generally not be held liable for it. Now, obviously, if you go and spread lies about a person and cause them damage, they can sue you for lying about them. But I can say whatever I like about the US government, my neighbours, or anything else, and